welcome back to Bethel Evangelical Free Church on YouTube. Christ is risen. He is risen indeed. A very happy and blessed Easter to you all. Blessed festival of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Now, when it comes to Easter, it's not simply a matter of facts, but of what the facts mean. The Bible never gives us brute facts, it gives us facts with meaning. And I want to consider in this short video one of the perhaps best known characters in the wider Easter story. He's really a character we see most after Easter, and he is the Apostle Thomas. We often call him Doubting Thomas. His name, Thomas, means twin. The probability is that, because in those days before ultrasound, twins would be a surprise very often. That his parents, when they had twins, they'd had a name ready for a boy, and they gave it to his older brother, and poor old Thomas just got called Twin. We don't do that anymore, thankfully, but that's how it was then. Now, Thomas is known as the doubter. He's the one who had trouble believing that Jesus was risen from the dead. He wasn't there on that first resurrection evening when Jesus came to the disciples within the doors and showed them his hands and his side, the marks of the nails and the spear. And so Thomas said, when they said to him, "We have seen the Lord," Thomas said, "unless I see in his hands the print of the nails, and put my finger into the print of the nails, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe." He wasn't simply doubting, he was out and out unbelieving, skeptical. Now, we live in an era where skepticism is seen by many as a great virtue. Don't believe everything you're told, they say. But there's a fine line between a reasonable skepticism and an unreasonable refusal to believe. Jesus confronted that with the Pharisees when they said, "We won't believe without a sign, or what sign will you show us that we may believe?" And by that they meant, will you allow us to ignore everything you've actually done and give us something just for us? And the answer is no. But Jesus is loving with Thomas. After 8 days, the disciples were again inside and Thomas with them. Jesus came, the doors being shut, and stood in the midst and said, "Peace to you." Then he said to Thomas, "Reach your finger here and look at my hands, and reach your hand here and put it into my side. Do not be unbelieving, but believing." He knew what Thomas had said, and he says to Thomas, "Take me up. I'll take you up on the challenge. You do what you said you'd do." And Thomas asked and said to him, "My Lord and my God." And this is the climax, if you will, of the gospel. This is where it's all been going, John's gospel. A great Bible scholar of the past, Bishop Westcott of Durham, who died in 1902, said on this very passage, Jesus never explicitly says that he is God, but everything he does leads us to see the revelation of God in him. I paraphrase slightly. Westcott's point is this: Jesus doesn't come and say, "I'm God, believe in me." Incidentally, that's why our Muslim neighbours, some of them, they say, "Well, where in the Bible does Jesus ever say, 'I'm God, believe in me'?" He doesn't say that. But you see, there's more than one way to, as it were, say that. You can either tell or show, and Jesus shows us he's God. He shows us in his incarnation, in his words and deeds, and supremely in his resurrection, so that the right response to Jesus is to say with Thomas, my Lord and my God. This is not just a man. This is the God-man. This is God with us. And therefore Jesus says to Thomas, Thomas, because you have seen me, you have believed. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed. B.F. Westcott calls this the last and greatest of the Beatitudes. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed on the testimony of those who have seen. The testimony is that the light, the life was manifested, that the Word became flesh, John says, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. And this testimony is intended that we may believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of the living God. Do you believe the testimony? Do you believe with Thomas that this is my Lord and my God? That's the challenge of Easter. Who is this? This is the risen Christ, God with us. May God bless you, and thank you for watching.